Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, and MU. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, they're free, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders, if you're looking for a new broker, check out venomtrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Best in the business, been using these guys for years. If you're an active trader looking for a new broker, venomtrading.com. You won't be disappointed. Alright guys, let's go right into Nvidia. We had 18 million on the day, 3.67% down, or $8.88 in the red. We have this key trend line here from a channel we had back, gosh, it goes almost a year and a half or so. So it was up, got through it, came right back in, right to the bottom, got through it, came right back in, almost to the bottom, got through it again, came back. Then we started a little bit of a channel here as well, so up, down, up, down. Video's still fine, guys. It's a little bit of a weaker stance, being below the 20 and the 50 MA, but we're holding this trend line here and the 50% retrace. If we do gap down on Monday, I have no idea if we're going to, but if we do, next big area is going to be 229.33, or this low pivot here from this candle. Then the next big area will be the 618 retrace and the 223.38 area to 222.09, or this low pivot. That cracks, guys, then we're most likely going to this low area and then this low pivot back in February, when we're getting the beat down here at 204.14. We still have a gap fill down here as well as 199.11, and then on the daily chart, guys, we still have the 200 MA down here at 194. That will be target if the markets start to really give up the gains here, so watch for that. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly, you can see a little bit better, and actually we have a little bit of a consolidation above the MAs, looking pretty good. But this little weekly candle here, guys, wiping out the last 2 weeks, that's a pretty good reversal candle telling me possible lower prices to come. But we're still above the 20, which is at 222.32, and ultimately, just like the daily chart, we're looking at the 200 MAs. On the weekly, we're going to look at the 50 MA for target, which would be 182.98. So, and that goes right with this pivot here at 181.02. So that low pivot back on 12/4 of 2017 or 2017, this could be a possible area. Again, it will be a market trade. If the markets start to fall, this will come down with it. If you look at the monthly on this chart, still stretched. Price target would be about 147.23 on the 20. When this curls up like this, guys, it's just a matter of time before this one comes down. It was the stock of the year. Everybody, you know, talking about it. AI. Just be careful when you get straight up moves like this. And now we're starting to stall out. If the market keeps going down, this will follow. Period. So let's go back to the daily. As long as it's staying above this line, we're okay. Let's see what this week brings, and then of course the Friday close is real important as well, because Friday, or I should say Thursday this week, we won't have a market on Friday. Let's see if we can hold this 20 MA on the weekly. 20 MA, and then the 223 area, let's call it that. And then the 20 MA is at 222.32. So keep an eye on this one in Nvidia. But right now it's okay. Market sell. This one will continue down. Now Nvidia, different story. If you watch my videos, we've been talking about this little bearish pattern here. It was down sideways, and you're still inside this big inside bar bearish pattern until you get above. Until you get above the 1385, we're still inside this bar, big bear pattern, chopping around. We got below the MAs. We talked about this down a couple days sideways. This is starting to set up. We did close pretty much right at this low pivot at 1064. So we're going to see what happens on Monday. We still have a gap fill down here at 1029, and then of course double bottom at 10, and then a 971. But this is looking weak, just like the markets, guys. Everything's trading with the overall indexes, the SPY, the Qs, the IWM. Those keep going down. These will keep going down unless some news comes out, or maybe a buyout for AMD. Then you'll get maybe one up day. If the markets continue to sell, this thing will turn around and come right back in. We're not out of the woods yet with the indexes, with anything at this point, guys. This week coming up is big. We have a 4-day week with the holiday. Maybe we go, if the volume disappears, we could actually get a bid in these markets, so watch for that. So daily chart, AMD, this is your area. Next one of support will be the gap fill, like I said. But let's see what happens, guys. It's getting a little bit ugly. So 750 retrace isn't holding as well. We have the fib from this low to that high. This is the 750, this blue line at 1074. So let's see what happens next week. Do we get the bounce, and does it retrace maybe back into the MAs and then come right back down? But if you're short from this area here, pretty good trade, couple bucks on a $10 stock. I'd start protecting it just in case we get that buy the dip mentality. But right now, guys, AMD looking a little bit weak. If you are long, just tighten the stops. If you do crack below this 972 area, you'll be going right down here to 838. And then possibly this high pivot here, that's good support, right around the $8 area. So let's keep an eye on this one. And great trading vehicle. That's all I can really say, guys. AMD. I have no position in this one at this point. I'm waiting for either lower prices or waiting for higher prices to short this thing. But right now, we're at the lower end of this range where it's been in since late 2016. I mean, pretty much up and down between 15.55 and 10 bucks until one either breaks up or breaks down. Then we'll have to see where it goes. But until if it keeps holding these areas, it's just going to keep going up and down, up and down. So great trading vehicle, just like our next one, Tesla. We've been saying lower prices since this hit of this higher trend line for the last couple of weeks. And this is what's happening, guys. We're at 301, almost a $300 even number. Let's go to the daily. You can see a little bit cleaner. So here we are, just kind of like AMD, just comes up, comes down. Look at this channel, boom, up, down. This one's even better, 293 to 360. So you got a $70 move, $70 move, $70 move, $70 move. So until this channel breaks, either it breaks down or breaks up, this is the range you're going to be in. Right now, you're technically weak. You're below the MAs, starting to sell off. You get a couple big candles like this, long red ones. This is telling me lower prices, unless Spy Cats catches a big bid on Monday and we're 400 up. These all should be higher, so watch for that. But you come into the 292, 295 area, you break that. I still believe we're going to fill, come to gap window, fill the gap, fill the gap. This is my area for the buy, around 240, 250 area. These lower pivots, there's a little bit of a gap down here, so we'll have to see if the markets are really selling. If they are, then I'm going to wait even for lower prices on Tesla and everything, guys. Let's look to the weekly. We can see a little bit cleaner on there. The reason why I like this area down in there is the 200 MA on the weekly. That's a big area of support. You also have this lower trend line, great support, and you have the gap fill right here at the 243.16. So you have 3 reasons, and even the 250 even number, 4 reasons to step up on this play for a short-term bounce. If the markets continue to dump, if you have a 500 down day and this hit this area, this most likely will not bounce unless the markets bounce, the SPY, the IWM, etc. So that's the area I'm watching here, guys. We did write calls on this one too. We already covered them for some nice money. So right now we're just waiting. We might write some puts if we get down here maybe for a day or so. But we'll have to see how this thing reacts once it gets to this 295 to 292 area. If this doesn't bounce, we will be going down into the 250 area. Period. So, and if the markets dump, we can even go lower. So if you're in this long, just tighten these stops. As long as we're in this range, guys, we're not going anywhere. Again, bottom of the range, 293. Top of the range, you're looking at the 362 area. So as long as it's still in there, this is what it's going to do. But again, just like AMD, great trading vehicle. Even on the weekly, you're back below the 50 and the 20 MA. Still above the 200, but it's looking weak, guys. Markets aren't looking good. Look at all these stocks have the same patterns where you got the big red candle on Friday. Everything's almost at the lows. And just be careful, guys. So the 20 MA is at 289 on the monthly. That's usually target when these things are high flying. I still think we're going to fill this gap and then come right down in here. And this is the other reason, guys. You have the 50 MA and the monthly chart. There's so many reasons to buy down here. Unless the markets are just bleeding, then we're looking for the 180 down here. And man, if we really go down the markets, we could be down to 142, guys. That sounds, we're not going to look at that yet, but just be careful in these markets. You get a big red reversal candle, reversing this high monthly candle. Again, we still have a little bit of time on this, but if we end up closing down in this range, we just reverse this whole big green candle, and that's not good. All right, let's look into MU. MU staying strong. It was down a little bit on Friday, but it's holding these areas, guys. Let's go daily chart. After, I mean, that was ugly. I have to admit, we did fill the gap as well. This has got to hold, guys. Daily chart, 20 MA. We talked about this down, sideways, bearish pattern at the top. This is an inside bar bearish pattern. It's got to get above this, continue higher. If it stays within this range, this is setting up for lower prices. We talked about it in my videos. So boom, boom, we get that pattern starting to play out. Market sell. Definitely it's going to go lower. We filled the gap here at 54.57, and we're holding this area here too as well. So we're going to have to see what happens from there. Let's stick a Fibonacci level in here. See what's going on. Well, gosh, you know what? I'm going to take it from this pivot. A little more short term on MU, guys. Yeah, so we got a little more to go. I think we're going to fill this gap at 51.04, and then I think we're also going to come down here at 618. We also have the 750 at the 54.43, and then the big even number at the $50 area as well. So we're going to watch for that. So right now, guys, looking a little bit weak. It's still MU. They got some hype going on in this one, so it continues to move up. But that was a nice pattern that it played out. This is the one thing I'm concerned with, though, on the weekly chart. We had a full engulfing candle, and we filled the gap, and we closed lower. That's telling me right there, guys, lower prices. Usually the 20 MA will be the target at 45.95. If that gives it up and the markets are dumping, we will be down here at $40 where this big retrace or where this big consolidation area was. So this was an inside bar bearish pattern that failed straight up, and I believe this thing's coming straight down. So be really careful with this one, guys. It's a high flyer. Look at the monthly. Monthly's high flying. Chart is at 31.58. That would be my price target, but this will curl up. Let's just keep an eye on these markets come Monday. Let's see the volume on the SPY. If this continues lower, you have your support levels, gap fill. If these start to crack, this one will be definitely going a lot lower. Just look at this move, guys. 37 to 64. That's just unhealthy. It's got to go a little. I don't mind the percentage move. It's just too fast, too far, guys. If this thing, took about 7, 8, 9 months to go up like that, it's still too fast, too far, but it's a little bit better than 2 months and almost 100% move. It just can't hold those gains. Period, guys. Especially with the markets selling. All right, guys, that's it for these four. Keep an eye on the overall SPY. If the volume comes in next week on the spider, then we should see more selling. We do have a shortened week. That could possibly save the markets and get a little bounce, get everybody excited going into Good Friday. But let's keep an eye on these markets, keep an eye on volume. And for you longs out there, just tighten those stops. Don't turn a great trade into a turd. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.